Chicago, 2011. A cop is murdered. Police and prosecutors swear they have the trigger man. He swears he didn't do it. How far will each side go to prove they're right?
Like it's just one bombshell after another, where you're like, what?
The story of a PlayStation, a brain-eating amoeba, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Off Duty, out now. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
This message comes from Jackson. Taxes aren't something you can only think about once a year. With investments, planning for tax day is year-round. Fortunately, Jackson offers tax-efficient products. Visit jackson.com for more information on how our products can make your tax bill a little bit less painful. Jackson is short for Jackson Financial Incorporated, Jackson National Life Insurance Company, Lansing, Michigan, and Jackson National Life Insurance Company of New York, Purchase, New York.
History shows women keep showing up for everyone, every day. But who's showing up for you? Grow Therapy helps you put your mental health first with therapy that's covered by insurance and built to support you. Whether it's your first time in therapy or your 50th, Grow makes it easier to find a therapist who fits you, not the other way around. You can search by what matters, like insurance, specialty, identity, or availability, and get started in as little as 2 days. There are no subscriptions, no long-term commitments. You just pay per session. Grow helps you find therapy on your time. Whatever challenges you're facing, Grow Therapy is here to help. Grow accepts over 100 insurance plans, including Medicaid in some states. Sessions average about $21 with insurance, and some pay as little as $0, depending on their plan. Visit growtherapy.com/ACAST to get started. That's growtherapy.com/ACAST. growtherapy.com/ACAST. Availability and coverage vary by state and insurance plan.
Welcome back to the Psych Legal Pop Podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about popular culture through the lens of an attorney and a therapist. I'm Tess Brigham. I'm the therapist.
And I'm Brooke Brigham. I'm the attorney.
And we are back today with Sister Wives, Season 20, Episode 18. This is One-on-One, Part 3. And before we dive into the episode, we want to talk about some Sister Wives news and gossip and information before we get started. But I was curious what you thought of this particular episode. Do you have any strong feelings?
No. I mean, okay. I one thing that stood out to me was how much Kody and Janelle were really in love.
Yes.
I think they may have had the best marriage.
I think they did. And I think that Janelle was built for polygamy. I think Janelle was built for polygamy. I mean, that's the thing is that she
wasn't jealous.
Yeah, she didn't get jealous. She didn't really care. She didn't want the attention. So this is the thing. If you can find 3 to 4 women who are like Janelle, then it would work. It might work, though Janelle's a little too passive. So I'm wondering. But like, if you found
that's why it works.
but if you found someone that was a better leader than Kody, that's ego wasn't tied up into it so much, and that he had 4 passive women, that or 3 would maybe work. But again, the problem is that you're always going to feel like someone's a favorite. And this is what I wonder is like, Janelle is annoyed by Robyn, but maybe Janelle knows something the rest of us don't know, which is like, she's probably thinking he loves me just as much as, he loves you, lady. Yeah,
we don't, we don't know what Kody and Janelle were talking about behind closed doors. And no, I think this was, this was revealing. And also the way that Janelle came into the family and the stuff with Meri, we got more information about that this week. And that was revealing.
And I connected with Meri, and I think you know exactly.
Oh yes,
I know. Meri on.
I know.
We will talk about that.
The good sense. Cody's mom had to step in and say, "You need to pick a different date."
And she was an adult. We'll get into this story.
Yes, I knew it would open up old wounds.
It's like, God, I see you, Meri. I see you. You feel my pain. All right, so let's start with. And I don't want to. She's part of our Patreon. She is it Zuliska? Or is it
Zaleska? I'm sorry.
Zaleska? We're sorry. We are mispronouncing your name.
Yeah.
You might need to send it to us and phonetically.
Yeah, phonetically. Let us know.
But she is full of information. I don't know how she gets all of this or what happens, but she did some research for us because there was a lot of talk around, right, the money situation. So this is what she found. Okay, the amount of word salad these people had on the second tell-all drove me nuts. So I had to investigate this and to see the numbers and dates. Thankfully, both Nevada and Arizona have great online access to public records. Okay, this is how she figured it out. All right. So what she's saying is, she's looking at it from the perspective of them buying the Vegas houses with interest-only loans. And she's going to assume that none of these people voluntarily paid extra to the principal in the 5 years that they lived in the house. Mm-hmm. Okay. So Meri bought her Vegas house in the beginning of 2013 for $452,000. She sold it June of 2019 for $574,000, making a $122,000 net profit, which makes sense
before costs.
Before costs, yeah. Janelle bought her home 12/19/2012 for $443,000, and she sold it for $575,000. Making it a $131,000 profit. Robyn's house was purchased. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. So Robyn's McMansion 1.1. So she's now talking about the home in Flagstaff. Yeah. That was bought September of 2019 for $890,000. They took out a mortgage of $675,000, which means they put a down payment of $225,000. Their combined profit of Meri and Janelle's house costs add up to $254,000. Plenty to cover the down payment and closing costs for Robyn's house. So Robyn's Vegas house was purchased for $445,000, and then it was sold for $603,000, making it the most profit of $157,000. So where did that money go?
And also, when they got that money, why didn't they pay Janelle and
Meri back?
You know?
Yeah.
Why didn't they just? I mean, that wasn't quite enough to pay them back in full, but they could have, put a huge dent in that. Mm-hmm. But no, I guess it just went back into the family pot.
Yeah. So then she said that Robyn, her second house, this one they just bought, it was purchased in November of 2024, a month before their house sold. Mm-hmm. A month before, for $2.1 million, with a down payment of $420,000 and a mortgage for the remaining $1.68 million. And how they have a HELOC on that is insane. Yeah. How can they then borrow?
Well, because assuming that if their first house in Flagstaff sold a month later, hopefully they took the proceeds from that and immediately put it towards the mortgage of the second house.
That makes sense.
So then now they have all this equity.
Got it. But now they're going to pull it all out.
Right.
All the equity they have in this one asset, they're going to pull it all out for something. So then she wrote us again. She, let's see. What she was talking about is sort of the AUB, and she just was talking about how it's very eye-opening going through the numbers and dates. She personally thinks that looking into the AUB belief system and watching Notes to Self 444, which we know, is that the husband is the family holder. The money in the family pot belongs to the family holder for him to disperse as he sees fit. When wives leave the family, they leave behind the family pot, which with that logic stays with him. I truly believe that Kody thought of the money as his. And since the women chose to leave, they had to walk away without this. This is why he's so mad at Christine and that house. And he wanted Janelle to keep it in the fold. He also, that's right, because he wanted Janelle to move in there. That's right. Mm-hmm. He's also mad that the women walked away. So did the greater family, like other wives, kids, spouses, grandkids, extended family to him. So that everyone should have stayed, I think, right, this maybe is a way of punishing people, stayed loyal to him and not the women who walked away with the same money, which is the case of Kody and Robyn. Having to split anything with them is a literal slap in the face and a jab to his priesthood.
Well, can I just say, I thought that Kody was no longer in the AUB. Didn't he say that at some point? Although Robyn keeps talking about in our church, but I could have sworn that he said he wasn't part of that church anymore.
I don't think either of them are part of the church. I don't think they've separated themselves, but I think they just don't attend anything or do anything. And I would be shocked to hear if they went to church on Sundays.
Well,
I don't think they do.
They don't have anyone they don't have a church to go to in Flagstaff,
or any, that they're doing anything. So I think that Kody uses, and we were talking a little bit before we started recording, which is Kody won't come out and say, no, this is my money. I'm the man of the house. I'm the man of this priesthood family.
Right.
And so all the money is mine and it's mine to see fit. And legally it is mine. Bah, 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 bah. He knows he can't do that. So I think that's the thing with Kody. And maybe the frustration of the wives is he kind of rides on this plane. Like it's whatever's convenient for him.
Right.
So if the religion, made his life hard and difficult and now he looks bad, the religion's bad. But if the religion says you can have all this money, then that's what the religion says.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's classic. It's pretty classic narcissist. Like, I'm just going to make the facts fit for me.
Well, yeah. And that's why the viewers of these tell-alls and the whole series, quite frankly, we get confused because he can't say the whole truth, and Robyn can't say the whole truth. I mean, Janelle and Meri and Christine are now able to fill us in on this stuff, but for a long time they couldn't. And that's why we're always like, huh, what? Because they talk in code and there's so many things they can't say and be honest about, and they talk around it. And it's just very confusing.
Yeah. And nobody is more of a word salad than Kody. I mean, sometimes you're just like, and especially if you're sitting there having to write notes, you're like, what did he just say? Like, I can't even summarize this. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, and also Zaleska, she also did some research for Jody and Amanda on We Love to Hate Everything. And their last episode, I think it was their Friday live episode I was listening to. And she did this timeline. You go and listen to it. It's quite revealing. She did this timeline for them of not just the house sales, but other things interspersed in there that were going on at the same time. And it was so interesting because, this whole move to Flagstaff where they decide they're going to go, and then the women all kind of put their homes on the market at different times.
Mm-hmm.
So Christine, I think she put hers on first and it sold right away. And then Janelle sold. And then it took a while for Meri and Robyn for their houses to sell. And Robyn's was the last to sell. It actually didn't even sell till the next year because she said she had committed to having a family reunion there, which may or may have not been her 40th birthday party in October.
/ 40th birthday.
Right. In October of 2018. She didn't move or the house didn't sell till 2019, I believe. So anyway, then the timeline between the time where they moved to Flagstaff and when Dayton, they announced that he's going to college in Arizona. Well, she went back and timed it all out. And the time that you have to apply, you have to apply by usually January at the latest. And then you have to make a commitment by May and you have to make a deposit and all that kind of stuff. Well, they had already done that before Kody even made his presentation in the living room. So
unbelievable.
It was a done deal. Like there was no choice. That was the whole reason for moving, which is ridiculous as it sounds. And we've always speculated, but I mean, if you look at the timeline, it doesn't lie.
No,
it's just really unbelievable.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was part of the news this week. Another thing that happened is Suki is giving interviews.
Yeah, I was surprised to see Suki's all over the place. I'm like, should we contact Suki?
Yeah. How do we get a hold of Suki? And so this is funny. She was on Sarah Fraser's podcast, and she said that they were talking about all the clothes Kody brought. Just one-on-one where they only have to basically have one outfit the whole time, right? And so Suki said that Kody is the only one who frets about his clothes.
Oh, I believe that.
And she said, the women, as soon as they sit down on the couch, that's it. They're not worried about their clothes, their hair, their whatever. How do I look? How does this look? Cody is obsessed with it. He's his clothes, his hair. And after he sits down, he's like, well, how does this, he's always adjusting his clothes and making sure his hair looks okay and asking people, does this look okay? And they were both just laughing because it's like, of course, he's the only one who even thinks about it, so vain.
I know.
So I thought that was funny. And then also the Sister Wives professor, our friend Dr. Adam, interviewed her. And, she obviously has to be very careful about, what she says. And he wasn't really pushing her. But she did say that Meri is harder to interview even than Kody.
I can believe that.
Yeah.
Because she's so closed off. What about this year? I mean, did she compare it maybe? Because this year it seems like Meri's the most open.
In some ways, yeah. But I can still see her. I don't know. I mean, she spent a lot of time this week kind of trying to drill down into Meri. But yeah, maybe she just meant historically, Meri is harder. I don't see how that could be harder than Kody. Kody is like pulling teeth. And then it never makes sense. So
yeah, well, I think, but Kody, he will talk. Like I think Meri won't talk. And that's different. I think it's, at least you're getting something from them.
Yeah, and another thing that really came out in that interview was really how much control the family has over the questioning, because she kept saying in different ways that she has to be very careful, because. If you push it just a little too far, then they're going to pull the plug on it, and then you won't be invited back to host next year. And, they have gone through quite a lot of hosts, especially in the beginning. When you look back at some of those early, when they were all on the couch together, the tell-alls, they were asking them some pretty tough questions, like, Tamron Hall.
Yeah, she was good. I thought she was really good.
She was really good. And then she wasn't back the next year.
Yeah. And that's the other thing too, is that people always get mad at Suki and these other interviewers. Like, why aren't you asking this question and that question? It's like, you can ask it. And if they're not going to answer it,
right,
what else are you going to do? Like, this is
you have to have trust. And, you have to have trust and a rapport, so that people will open up to you and they will trust you. So it's a very delicate balance. And you can't just it's not like a prosecutor asking questions at a trial. That's not going to work. So anyway.
Yeah. Interesting.
All right. Well,
okay. Well, let's dive in.
It's over. This week, and then gosh, one more week. Gosh, can't believe what's left to say.
I'm wondering, like, next week, what are we going to talk about next week?
I don't know.
But somehow they keep managing to get more information. So keep talking. So
yeah.
Well, we pick up here right where we left off on this whole thing about what we were really perplexed about is, why is it an offensive for Kody to say, I still love you in front of David and so on? I think.
Well, he didn't say I still love you. He said,
no, I'm sorry. No,
I loved you.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to spread that rumor. I apologize.
No.
I did love you. I did.
Yeah.
Sorry. I did love you. But I think maybe it's more about what then we hear here, which is him saying what it was about the I release you statement, which I think is the most offensive thing ever.
It is offensive.
I release you, this idea that you have been Even though you married another
pining
man
over me or something.
You've been pining over me, and you can't move on with your life despite being married to someone else now, and happier than she's ever been in her entire life. But okay. But I think that was that. I think that was because he was like, she was released the day she left him.
Mm-hmm. She released herself.
Yes.
she left. That was the release.
Yes. She took off the invisible shackles and walked out.
Yeah.
So, and so maybe that's what they're offended about. I still don't understand this whole debate about men and women. Again, we did not grow up. I mean, we're Northern California people. Like, we didn't grow up with a lot of formality of anything, So I don't know. I don't know if that's more a formal thing to be more respectful of people's partners. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess I'm sure religion has something to do with it, but David's not part of the religion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Did he grow up like LDS or
maybe?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's a good question. I didn't tell you. So producer Steve has a coworker at work. Her name's Tessa, and it creates a lot of confusion sometimes because she's like, I always think he's talking to me, but he's really talking to you at work. So Tessa is a fan of our podcast, and I believe she's a fan of our podcast, but she's a fan of Sister Wives. That much she knows. And she wrote Steve this note and said, hey, I don't know if you pay attention to Sister Wives, but do you know that you remind me a lot of David? Mm-hmm. And Steve's like, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I'm like, no, it's a good thing. I said it too, that you do. Mm-hmm. And she said it was like not only his looks, but his like temperament.
Yeah.
And all of that. Anyway, that's that. Sorry. Okay. And so Suki asks, would this have all been better? Would you have felt better about this if Robyn was there? And I think finally we drilled down of what they were really looking for and maybe what creates their hostility towards him, because it sounds like they just really needed to hear him say, I apologize for my actions.
Mm-hmm.
Not, I
release you. Yeah.
Oh my God. If we ever do merch, I release you.
I release you, Kody Brown.
No. Oh, you know what? It should be, I release you, and then a picture of Christine and David on the altar. Like, I release you. Or like Christine living her best life.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's finally released, a year after her wedding. That was offensive. And did he use that release language I don't think he used that language with Meri and Janelle.
Well, Meri wasn't going to let him. I mean, but he did say something to the effect of, I want you to, I'm doing this for you kind of thing. And then with Meri, he admitted, well, this is about me. And then she said, yeah, I know. This is about you. So So then we get into this whole thing, which I really didn't take a lot of notes. Again, these tell-alls are so hard because it's like Suki to Robyn about Christine. It's like, Suki asked Robyn about how she feels about all this. Robyn has nothing to say. So I don't think I wrote anything down.
Robyn had nothing to say throughout this. I mean, this whole thing, she's just given us nothing. She had her one little crying spell that seemed rather rehearsed. And she's like dead weight, she's just sitting there.
I want to say I'm kind of worried about her. Do you know what I mean? I'm a little worried because when we first saw her, she was happy. She was light. She was joyful. She never smiles. She never, we don't see her happy.
But we see when she's with Kody at home and they're doing their little, scenes together, she seems happy. I think she's happy at home with Kody. I think Cody's been a lot to deal with, but she's stuck it out. And I think things are much better now. I think all of this other stuff, she acts like she's so burdened, about everything. This is an act, her whole, this whole thing, this whole tell one-on-one, whatever it is, has just been an act with her.
I don't know. I just feel like she's got Eeyore energy at the tell-all, at home, always. Even when she's flirting with Kody, it still feels very Eeyore.
Yeah, well, yeah.
There's
Eeyore
something
light.
Eeyore light. Like there's something in. I really do. I don't know what it is, but the way she looked when she first entered this family and now, very different. Very different. I mean, because it just feels like everything's
just her energy.
Yeah, her energy has been sucked away from her.
Yeah, it's not just physical. It's her energy.
That's what I'm referring to. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then we get into this whole thing about the next section is about Kody and the apology tour. Why did he start with Janelle? And of course, he picked Janelle because she would be the kindest and safest.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So before we started recording, you had a theory about these two that I think is very accurate.
Oh, about
Kody and Janelle.
Oh, well, I think he loves her the most out of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Even Robyn. Because Robyn has a lot of demands.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she demands a lot from him. And I think that word easy is, that really fits because they... You know, Janelle, I never saw Janelle get jealous. She never had jealousy.
Mm-hmm.
She was very independent. She did her own thing. They worked together well. I think they were physically attracted to each other. I think let's take a look at what Kody did to bring her into the family. He gets very emotional, you know, talking about Janelle. And he feels a lot of guilt. He says, you know, that he didn't protect Janelle from Meri. He doesn't say that, but that's basically what he's talking about.
We didn't protect that special place.
Yeah. And so he's talking about her like she was sort of his safe place to go to get away from Meri.
Yeah, I think so.
You know, because Meri was, you know, by everybody's account, was really, really harsh, you know, and really hard to live with, hard to deal with. And so Janelle was his safe space, yet he didn't protect Janelle from Meri because he allowed Meri to be mean to Janelle and didn't stop it, I guess, or didn't do enough to stop. I'm sure he tried, but then at one point, didn't he say, you know, he kind of threw up his hands like, you guys are going to have to figure this out. And I can't help you.
Well, I think he basically said something to the effect of like, you know, I'm there refereeing and it's, you know, if I defend one wife against the other, right, it's not going to look good. So I told them, you know, you guys got to figure this out on your own. And now he's lamenting and saying, maybe I needed to step in. Like maybe that wasn't the right decision.
Right. And Janelle says that they both pursued, or that both Kody and Meri pursued her, which I find hard to believe.
She does clarify that that's not true, that she approached them. Though in my notes, I have written down they pursued me. There's a little bit of like, Janelle goes back and forth about who pursued who.
Yeah, I think again, she and Kody just had a connection. Their parents had a connection. And you know, that they, it just happened. They were just in proximity with each other.
Well, yeah. And so Meri finally says the thing that we've all been thinking, which is Janelle was my sister-in-law. That's how she knew me. Like, it sounds like maybe socially the families kind of knew each other here and there, but I'm sorry, you're repeatedly seeing someone who's in your family. So I think that's how she got to know Kody. I think that's how she saw Kody.
Yeah.
And
Janelle, she said that Janelle remained close to Meri's family even after the divorce. So it's like they get divorced and like this, she's still here. She's still
because she wants your husband now.
Right.
And Meri admits like, sure, since that time I've now known, right? Like, I think it also pisses her off to hear Janelle tell the story of Kody walking in while she's still married. Janelle never says, I was still married to the brother, and neither does Meri, but we all know that's what went on.
Right.
Because the first
sparkle
that she had a sparkle about Kody.
Yeah.
So here you go. You're married to my brother. I find out you have a sparkle for my husband. And suddenly this marriage isn't working. You're out. You remain close to my family. And now you're going to be my sister wife. You got to be kidding me here.
Yeah.
And I agree with that. Like, and I think that was part of the religion and part of all of this. Again, part of the time, right? Where, maybe people think it's weird, but that the acceptance of like, this is just how it is. So keep going kind of thing. So.
Yeah. And Janelle really she's still downplaying all of this. And, she just tells it very nonchalantly, like, oh, we were friends. And then I felt a sparkle. And then, no, we don't know, Janelle. Like, tell us what the hell.
Yeah.
She just said something like, they decided it was a good connection. Okay. Who's they?
Yeah.
Who decided?
Well, I think we're also learning that it was a lot of, Meri, you need to do this. Meri, you need to do this. You need to do this. They have a good connection. This is God's will. This is this. This is that.
Right. And they're already part of our family because, Cheryl married Wynn. So, this whole thing, you couldn't make this up.
Yeah. Kody does talk a little bit about like the fighting between Meri, and he does talk about like how the fighting was volatile, that Meri fought differently than Janelle. And I think this is the thing. I think Mary's a strong, forward-facing person. Yeah. And, if you talk about fight, flight, freeze, she's a fight. And Janelle's a flight. Christine's a freeze. So, that's the thing is that it's... If you talked about those people, the person that's, fighting is going to be the negative one, the evil one. So I think that also helped like create this narrative in the family or between this dynamic of three, which is, here's my first wife who's really volatile and mad at me all the time. Here's my second wife who's just the victim and put upon. And she's so great because she doesn't bother me about anything.
Yeah. Now, are you a person who likes to do the dishes at night or in the morning?
I've done both. And sometimes it's based on, and I understand why people want to do it at night. I understand why people want to do it in the morning. This is the thing. Whoever's deciding to do the dishes, you got to let that lie. You've got to just be okay. Like if it was Janelle's night to do the dishes, like Meri, you just got to go to bed and be okay with the fact that there's dishes in the sink. You cannot be mad about that. If you wake up the next day and go to work and then come home from work and the dishes are still in the sink, I give you that. But no, sometimes I'm tired.
Yeah.
So I think
Mary's very controlling.
Yeah. And I think that was part of it. And again, how old are these people? 24, 25, 26?
Yeah. You're lucky the dishes are getting done.
Well, and
daily.
also like communication like that. How was Meri didn't, it takes, and I've said this before, but these poly relationships take a lot of communications. People think it's about sex. No, it's about communicating and talking. Yeah. And you have to be so open about everything. And so that's the problem, is that they don't have any training on how to have a conversation or be able to even look at this differently. So I thought this section was interesting because Suki starts to talk to Christine about this, about does plural marriage not allow a certain amount of intimacy? And Christine is just like, yeah, I don't know how it could. She doesn't want to throw the lifestyle under the bus, but no, I don't. Yeah. Yeah.
And then I didn't like this. Like Kody got real weird in here and was just kind of, again, word salad, not wanting to take accountability for anything and blaming. He blames the wives for being high maintenance.
Yes.
Not Janelle. But and then he says he loved Janelle, but Meri was more emotionally open. But you didn't like that about her. Because, again, she's confrontational in her emotions, too. Like, this is how I feel. And Janelle wasn't.
Yeah, the whole high maintenance word and how it's always used with women. You know who's high maintenance? Kody Brown.
You, Kody. We heard it from Suki. She told us.
You are. And just, I hate that whole low maintenance, high maintenance. It's a way to make women feel like if you have a demand, you're high maintenance. If you have a
so just shut up.
That Meri feeling like her former sister-in-law who had a spark with her husband coming into the family, she might have an issue with it. That makes her high maintenance.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of what Meri's learning right now at 50 something. She's learning like, wait a second, my feelings were okay.
Yeah.
They mattered. And these people told me they were wrong and I'm mad. And she has that. She can be angry at Kody for that because he contributed to it. And Janelle.
Yep. Oh, goodness.
Yes. So Meri talks about how I had a lot of emotions about the way Janelle came into the family. Kody and Janelle like to ignore the fact that some of the issues I had stem from the fact that they wanted to get married on my birthday. Now, here in the general public, I think I've talked about this in the past, but our parents
on
Patreon, maybe. So our parents got divorced. I was 6 and you were 10. Our father met and remarried someone very quickly. We're not going to get
a year.
Yeah, we're not going to get into the timeline, but I'm 6 years old. I'm in kindergarten. So my father and stepmother decided to get married the day before my 7th birthday, the day before. Now, I do remember at the time having conversations with Dad about it, like as a 6-year-old, like, hello, this is the day before my birthday. I know people were pissed. I know Mom was pissed. I know, and I don't know if our grandparents, his parents said anything to him, but, and there's always talk of like, who was it, our stepmother or our father that was pushing this narrative, of who was really,
I don't think it was him. He would not intentionally.
He wouldn't intentionally do it, but the buck I give it both of them. And so I have our father passed away late last year. So this is the first year, 2026, where this anniversary and my birthday aren't going to be together. And the thing is, I've gone up and down about how I feel about this. I share this with people and their jaws drop open. Like it's mortifying. And now that I've had a child and seen how important now, again, when you're 25, 26, 27, it kind of doesn't matter so much. But when you're 6 and turning 7 and your parents have just gotten divorced, quite frankly, maybe I'm a little fragile.
Yeah.
And so this is a classic Gen
extra
X.
attention this birthday.
Yeah. Or the fact that these two things have to be lumped together. And it was through this conversation that I think for me got why it pisses me off and what angers me. And it's her saying, this is not a really great way to start a family relationship. And that's my issue with my father and stepmother, is that, did you really think this was a good way to start?
Yeah.
You are the adults, not me. I was in kindergarten. I was just trying to get through kindergarten, people. Like you were, what grade were you in? 3rd? I mean, we were in elementary school.
Well, when they separated, it was like the end of my 4th grade year. And then I was going into 5th grade, and then they got married the summer after 5th. I was in 5th grade. Yeah. Going into 6th grade. Yeah. Not a great time for either of us.
Psych Legal Pop will be back after these messages.
This message comes from Jackson. Taxes aren't something you can only think about once a year. With investments, planning for tax day is year-round. Fortunately, Jackson offers tax-efficient products. Visit jackson.com for more information on how our products can make your tax bill a little bit less painful. Jackson is short for Jackson Financial Incorporated, Jackson National Life Insurance Company, Lansing, Michigan, and Jackson National Life Insurance Company of New York, Purchase, New York.
Chicago, 2011. A cop is murdered. Police and prosecutors swear they have the trigger man. He swears he didn't do it. How far will each side go to prove they're right?
Like it's just one bombshell after another, where you're like, what?
The story of a PlayStation, a brain-eating amoeba, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Off Duty, out now. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
But I see you, Meri. I see you. But these people had the good sense and they listened to them. And that's the other thing that pisses me off about our situation. I know adults went to Dad. I know people went to him and said, do not do this.
They did. Well, in this case, Kody's mom, I guess, got involved because they're telling Meri, oh, it's no big deal. You can just celebrate your birthday on another day.
Mm-hmm. It's like, no, your birthday's one specific day.
Yeah, no, that doesn't work that way. And so then Kody's mom, I guess, got involved and told them that, that was rude to just change the date. Again, why was that date so important? Who, you know what I mean? It's just, I mean, and some of the stuff that she said, there's the birthday thing. And then she talked about how, she used to be married to her brother, and that was a lot of emotion. And Janelle fell in love with Kody while married to her. Mm-hmm. While the brother and you were saying, brother and Janelle are still married. And she made a comment about how, I don't know if this was while she was still married to Meri's brother, how she wanted her sons to have Kody's build.
Yes.
I mean, this is a different Janelle than we're used to. I mean, she really went for it.
And what pisses me off the whole time is Janelle is so downplaying all of this. She's downplaying
totally.
it. She kept saying things like, well, I knew them as a couple. I asked them. It's just a little bit like, no, you're not willing to own the fact that you fell in love and saw a way and that plural marriage maybe suited you. And that this seemed like a good situation for you.
Yeah.
And that maybe that's why Meri wasn't so happy with you.
For the longest time, when Janelle was talking about Meri's family, she called them her weird polygamous friends. Mm-hmm. You remember that? She wouldn't even identify who her polygamous friends were. And it was her husband's family.
Yeah. So I love Meri. She's like, you don't think that comment would be troublesome to me? Mm-hmm. And so she says, these are the facts. These are the facts of what happened. Mm-hmm. And I had emotions. And I was the one who was always in trouble for my emotions.
Right.
So people are doing things to you and you have a feeling about it. And not only are you not allowed to have the feeling, you have to accept whatever it is that they're doing. So, yeah.
Well, justice for Meri.
And Tess. I still think mine's more egregious, personally.
Yes, you were a child.
I was a child, and birthdays mean a lot to kids, Mm-hmm.
Yes. No,
I'm so justified in this. I'm so justified in this. And I'm going to haunt Dad for the rest of my life, and then until I get to the afterlife to see him again.
And then you'll remind him.
And I'm going to remind him over and over again. Because I probably should have done that more in life. Do you know what I mean? Once it happened. And I never said anything about it ever again. And there's a part of me that kind of feels like, you know what? I should have gotten in his face about that. Like, I really should have. And demanded an apology.
Yeah.
So Dad, if you're listening from heaven.
Yeah, get ready.
Get ready for the apology. Because, I mean, he's the parent. Yeah. He was the parent. So, but we do love our father. He's a great man. He really was. He was great. Trust me.
We all make mistakes.
Yeah. Again, just like Kody. We all make mistakes. We do.
Yeah.
We do. Okay.
So now, do we have to go back to David and Christine? Talking about...
Didn't you know? Okay.
Talking about...
It wasn't me. Men. Okay. Yeah. Well, it got into this whole thing about endure it till the end, right? And I think that
but they started out talking about how, this is David's opinion. David has a lot of opinions now. He's kind of taken over this. And I'm a little bit like, okay, David, you just got here and you're really kind of taking over your word for word. You're speaking more than Christine.
I think I see it somewhere in between. I think both Kody and David are right. They're both right. And they both need to check themselves. Go on.
Oh, well, he's talking about how the men in polygamy, they actually really love the women fighting and competing for their love. And that's his experience of, from what he's seen. And they're just talking about how hard this is on the women. And you're told to endure until the end and you're going to be rewarded and the celestial kingdom and all that kind of stuff. And of course, they both, think this is BS now, but I don't know why we're even talking about it. Mm-hmm. It's not very interesting.
Well, my sense was this is that Kody's pissed because he feels like David's coming in, and you're right. You just got here. You don't know me. You only know me through Christine and what you've seen or what you believe, and you don't know me. And I hear you on that, Kody. Like I think it is very different to have been the polygamist yourself and the one going through it and all of those things. But I think that I feel like what David's really trying to say is that he keeps saying that I don't have any information about this. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's not like I just woke up yesterday and started studying this. Like, I grew up around this. I saw it with my own eyes. I talked to the men. I talked to the women since I was a kid. When I was a kid, I would ask these questions. I mean, for 30 some odd years, he's been pondering this idea. And considering the fact that we have a podcast where we ponder these ideas and we haven't even been exposed to it for 30 years, I kind of feel like he has the right to say, this is what I observed. And so they're both right and they're both wrong. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's just a little bit of like, yeah, stop. But they keep making it personal about the other one. And it's like, if you stop doing that, that would be a lot better.
Yeah. I mean, Kody, this is the second time now he's talked about how David is, just a construction worker.
Yes. It's these polygamous construction workers. And I'm like, it's sick and wrong. And I'm like, what do you have for construction workers, Kody?
I love construction workers. Yeah. I would love to have one, living
as
in
a husband.
House. Yes. That's kind of one of my top criteria to get married. I think it would only be if that person was just constantly fixing things and building things.
Yeah. I have a friend who is married to a furniture maker. And I will tell you that really helps too, because he built so much stuff. So you need someone handy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would take that over whatever it is Kody does.
Working out, running with the backpack and running, working out in the garage.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah. And Kody's like, well, I wasn't promoting Meri and Janelle to fight over me. And it's like, no, that's not what David was saying. Again, see, that's the problem, is that no one's listening and everyone's talking over each other. And then Kody goes into this whole thing about, I didn't even write it down. It was like something about Jack, and he doesn't know Jack shit and shit, Jack.
Yeah. Since David doesn't know Jack shit. Oh, wow. Things are getting spicy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But so Suki asks, does Kody have a big ego? And David said, all guys do, but polygamists have big egos. I don't think he's wrong.
No. And he made another
We
good
all have
point.
egos.
Yeah. David made another good point. He said that he's been around polygamy a lot longer than Kody's even been in it.
Yes.
Because David's been around it since he was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Kody has only been doing it for 30 years or 35 years, whatever, whenever he got married to Meri. So good point, David. I don't know. I go back and forth about David.
Getting involved.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, I don't know. I feel like if someone invited me and I'm sitting on a couch and I'm there and they're asking me questions, they choose what to insert and not insert, like, keep and not keep. I would share what I think. And again, yes, they don't think very fondly of each other. So no matter what the other one does, it's going to be negative.
Well, they were trying to be friends.
Yeah.
At the Speedway. But no, that relationship is,
no,
it's done. It's over.
Yes. So Robyn's one contribution was David's sister was in a different group. That's not been my experience. It's like, okay, well, yeah. Because this is the only polygamy family that you've lived in, Robyn. This is the only polygamous relationship, and it worked out for you.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's your only experience. So okay.
So this next section is very sad, which is this whole thing of like, to Meri, did you feel like you had to compete for affection? And she just said, I was always thinking, what do I need to do? What do I need to change to be accepted and loved? And I think that was the message she was getting. all the time. You are not, the way you are right now is not good. It's not this, it's not that. And so I'm sure those feelings, they simmer. And so, yeah, when you see the dishes not done, you lose your mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And with Meri, it was always like, well, if you just do this, things will be better. If you just do this. And so he's always like moving the goalposts constantly. And I'm sure he did the same thing with Christine.
Yeah. I mean,
she's with Meri, it seemed really much more intense. Remember, isn't she the one who had the list?
Yes. Well, because Meri would fight. Christine wouldn't fight. So he wanted things to be different with Christine, but she wouldn't fight him. She freezes. So she just kind of would like try to do her best. Meri talks about how there were times where it felt like I couldn't do anything right. I mean, this is like having a very critical parent living with you all the time and constantly in your ear. And yeah, it's going to take a lifetime to get that out of your head. And Meri talks about it. It was hard to watch my husband have babies with other women. It was so hard on a whole other level. And then we get this Robyn thing where she talks about, well, yeah, we were, going in and saying we were considerate of Meri with that. We would always tell Meri about being pregnant. It was part of the process. And again, this is what you guys are missing is even though you were respectful and maybe went to her first, it does not change how painful it was and is to watch her husband have children with other women when she could not have children. Those, yes, you can believe that you're doing something helpful, but you still need to, the person's feelings are still their feelings. Yeah. Hello?
Yeah. I mean, big deal. You told me before you told anyone else, like that's going to make her feel better.
Yeah. No. It still hurts. It's still painful. Now this was my favorite part of the episode, which is, so I guess maybe, I don't know if they had they not seen these episodes, but Sookie shows the clip of Kody's apology to Meri. And then we get this like inside screen of Christine watching it like she's watching a football game. She's like, what? Huh? What? Oh my God. She was like, yes, go. So I guess she had not seen this apology. Because she was just like, oh shit.
She's just watching with glee.
Yeah, she's so happy. She's like, yes. Yeah, Meri talks about like, it felt good. She felt like, I just decided I will not be walked over emotionally by Kody any longer. And he can't handle it.
Yeah, Christine says, this was all for Kody. And Meri put him in his place. But she said she would never try to talk to Kody. He would just patronize her. And it's like, boy,
kind of do what he did with,
with the friend, talking about her friends.
Yeah. Well, anyway, sorry, I lost my train. So then Janelle talks about how she's like, see, again, Janelle talks about this dynamic. So this is a new narrative, right? Which is not a new narrative, but this is an old standing narrative that they're sharing with us, which is that Kody and Meri have this dynamic. And Janelle talks about how like, this is their dynamic. It can, Meri can be really sharp with her words. She's a very sharp person. But at the same time, she's saying, well, she had justification for saying all those things. And then Robyn piles on and says, yes, this is their dynamic with each other. They always set each other off, like as if like, Kody rewriting this, they're fighting and fucking relationship kind of thing. It's like, no, I don't think that's what was happening here. But this has become the tale, this story. So, Sookie asks Meri, what in this conversation triggered you? Oh, this was about the friends, his comments about the friends. And she was pissed. You don't get to talk about my people like that. And I think the other thing that she's not saying is if Robyn speaks ill of somebody, and that's fine, or of me, that's fine. But my friends speak ill of you, and that's not okay. That kind of thing. I think that's really what she's saying, which is, and that she's telling him like, these, my friends are my people. They're my backup. They're my support system, and Robyn's yours. So they have opinions.
Her friends have a right to their own opinions. I mean, they've been asked to be on this show and they've observed these things, and they're just voicing what they've seen and what their opinion is about it. But with Kody, anyone who even dares to talk a little bit ill about him, this is his response. That's the thing. He takes no accountability for anything, and nobody can say anything to him that is even the least bit critical, or, to even say, you should look at this, look at your behavior, no. I mean, he has not evolved. He's trying to act like he's evolved. He's trying to act like, oh, look at me. I'm so benevolent. I'm going out. I'm apologizing. Well, an apology that's insincere isn't worth anything. And what exactly are you apologizing for? He could never articulate that. It's not like, I am sorry for treating you this way. I am sorry about when I did X, Y, Z. He never once named a specific thing.
He did name, like, when we were going through the divorces, about how hard I was and angry. He did own the fact that during the divorces that he was angry, that he said a lot of things that he shouldn't have said. He does own that. The problem is that, much like with all of Kody's things, there are rules that are connected to it. But I'm going to apologize for that. But don't ask me about the kids and the relationship with the kids. Don't challenge me in any way, shape, or form on anything that I'm saying. And don't ask me to apologize for anything else.
Right.
I mean, so.
Yeah. So again, what exactly are you apologizing for?
Yeah, he's apologizing for the thing that was public.
Right.
That
when
was
he said,
criticized
I never loved
online.
any of them.
Yeah. You knew you got yourself in trouble. You're apologizing for the things that people pointed out. And I believe that you probably think, that was bad. I shouldn't have said that. That wasn't right. But at the same time, we see you, Kody. We're not as dumb as you think. Like, we see this stuff. And then there gets into this whole thing. They're asking, like, Janelle and Christine, like, do Meri's friends have a right to talk about Kody? Janelle's kind of like, well, maybe. Christine's like, listen, they're not married. He wasn't respectful to her. He talks to Robyn about, anything he wants. So why can't Meri talk to her friends? So it was like, you're absolutely right. And it's an opinion. Again, we are here talking, sharing our opinions. Kody, if you want to start a podcast and talk about us, then we couldn't say anything about it. Go for it. Might help us with our podcast. Starts a fight. Ooh, what if we started a beef? Drake, 26. So now we are on Kody. Suki asked Kody, how was the experience of apologizing to Meri? And Kody says, Meri still wants to talk about her hurt and what I did wrong. Yes, Kody, she does. Because you have never, ever allowed her to do it. And that's that whole thing of, again, he is very clearly showing us, well, she just didn't want to talk about her hurt. Yeah, that was the problem in this marriage. She wanted to talk about her hurt, but you won't acknowledge it.
But also, too, if you're going to go and apologize to someone, you need to be prepared that they are probably going to, maybe have a response to that. And he wouldn't allow that. It was like, you have to just listen to my apology and don't question anything. Don't ask me anything. Don't say anything. And, I guess Janelle went along with that, but, Christine and Meri, not so much.
Well, it's back to the whole, I'm going to give you crumbs and you need to be thanking me like I gave you a goddamn cake. And they're like, no. Then there's this back and forth about, Kody's saying something about, I would talk to her. He then, now there's some conditions, right? All she wants to do is talk about her hurt and pain. I would talk to her if it was sincere not getting any pushback. And then his fear is, rather than her going back to her friends and bad mouthing me and saying that he's a jerk. Again, these are conditions now. So I will talk about your pain, but you need to be sincere. I don't want any pushback, and you can't repeat it to your friends.
Oh God.
Again,
no thanks.
I'm sorry. I think this proves Mary's case.
Mm-hmm.
And so Mary was just like, and Mary felt, she says it, she was like, it was very insincere because it was very awkward. And then Sookie goes to Kody, well, last year you told me that Meri was your favorite ex-wife. And then this is what I wrote down. Kody said, under the illusion of betrayal. What? I don't even know what context that is. I just
under the illusion of betrayal. That's so nonsensical.
Meaning, when I
meaning.
moved her and I had that emotional moment and she hugged me, and then I wanted to steal all of her money from Coyote Pass, she was not happy about it.
Right.
And that was the betrayal. That's the betrayal. The betrayal is she was just, because and again, Kody can't live in the gray like this. Like, what Mary's really talking about is she's living in the gray. She's saying, yeah, I can hug you and say goodbye and say we had a nice life together and all of that. Mm-hmm. And I can also fight you for what is mine and what I feel like is mine. And these two things can exist at the same time. Yeah. So anyway, God.
That's way
Cody's
too
exhausting.
For Kody. Yeah. I mean, the illusion of betrayal. That's a good one.
That'll be our second shirt. The illusion of betrayal.
To write these things.
No context about what the illusion of betrayal would be.
What is the betrayal and the illusion? Uh-huh.
But once they see that it was quoted to Kody Brown, they'll be like, oh, I got it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Makes no sense.
Yeah. All right. Finally, next time on, Jen says Kody has said and done things that are not okay. And Kody thinks that Jen influenced Meri to leave the family. Oh, Kody, he can't. No, you did that all by yourself. Let's see. Janelle says she ended her professional relationship with Jen, which I didn't know they had a professional relationship.
Yeah.
Because she said that Meri should take her money and leave the relationship. Huh. Okay. These notes don't make sense to me.
No, that's pretty much what it was. And I think that, I think Meri then says, like, Jen can be really sarcastic. I mean, I think Jen
wasn't serious.
Maybe she wasn't serious. Maybe she was serious. But again, okay, Janelle had the right to leave and not work with her if she felt like it was really flippant. Okay, fine. But again, they keep talking about this influence. It's like, again, Mary's going to do what Meri wants to do. Yeah, people have influence over other people, but it is the individual who makes these decisions.
Yeah.
So again, she wasn't a child at the time that, you can influence a child, you can influence someone, but no, Jen was telling her the truth.
Yeah. And then Robyn says she doesn't see how Meri could distrust her.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get Kody yelling, if your wife is having an affair and your other wife tells you, that's my business. So, yeah, Robyn was feeding him info.
Yes.
That she was getting from her friend. So I guess next week is going to be, we're going to learn about this whole catfish triangle.
Yes.
Hopefully. Who knows who's talking to who. Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be a bunch of through a bunch of yeah, but we're going to have to parse through all the gobbledygook.
I know.
To get to the truth.
They won't just come out and say something, straight up.
Yeah. Because no one wants to look negative or bad. No one's willing to do that. All right. Yeah. Well, yet again, so we will be back next week with the final episode, the one-on-one part 4. If you enjoy our podcast and want to hear more from us, you can go check out our Patreon. We do a weekly bonus. You get all these shows ad-free. For our higher tier, we do a true crime once a month. It's just for them. Today we are covering, because we're recording it today, the Murder to Mercy, Vincent Toya Brown story, which is really fascinating. And then we also do an Ask Us Anything. So go check us out there on Patreon. You can also follow us on social media, follow us on, or write a 5-star rating and review. Those really do help us. You can subscribe to the podcast, tell a friend, tell 2 friends, just spread the word. That is always very helpful for the podcast. Thanks so much, everyone. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
This message comes from Jackson. Taxes aren't something you can only think about once a year. With investments, planning for tax day is year-round. Fortunately, Jackson offers tax-efficient products. Visit jackson.com for more information on how our products can make your tax bill a little bit less painful. Jackson is short for Jackson Financial Incorporated, Jackson National Life Insurance Company, Lansing, Michigan, and Jackson National Life Insurance Company of New York, Purchase, New York.
Hi, this is Hannah Berner from Giggly Squad. Have you ever put on a bra that makes you feel like a goddess? Prepare to be obsessed with the Dream Angels Wicked Bra from Victoria's Secret, the iconic brand behind the world's most comfortable bras. And I only wear the most comfortable bras. The bestseller features an innovative sling for perfect lift without padding, and the fit is chef's kiss. Awaken your inner goddess with new colors and super femme lace embroidery. Find out why this bra has thousands of 5-star reviews and counting. Shop it in stores and online at victoriassecret.com.
All right, ladies. When you've done the work, you want your hydration to do the same. Introducing new Gatorade Lower Sugar, now with no artificial flavors, sweeteners, or colors. And 75% less sugar and all the electrolytes of regular Gatorade, now available nationwide.